Video games are often written off as a waste of time, a path to violence, a way to rot your brain, and a distraction from the important things in life. Many people think of games as just a violent media, or one that only appeals to nerds or people who lack ambition. However, I think if given a proper chance, you can find that video games can be for anyone. Video games serve as the finest example of interactive media. Recent games, like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, offer players massive immersive worlds to explore, with puzzles to solve, monsters to battle, and a gripping fantasy story to play through. It's easy to spend hours just wandering around the game's map, finding new nooks and crannies to navigate. Where films require us to passively take in a story with no involvement of the consumer, video games allow us to live the experience, to make choices, and gain a personal connection with the events of the game. Even when games aren't comparable to movies, they offer the player a sense of just plain fun. In recent years, many games have become increasingly cinematic, like 2018's God of War or The Last of Us series created by Naughty Dog Studios. These releases feel like playable, big-budget movies, but with runtimes that make most films seem like short endeavors. A cinematic game can have 80 hours worth of content in it, while movies are often only 2.5 to 3 hours long. This allows a player to form a much closer bond with characters than you can get from a film. When I completed Infinite Fall Studios' 2017 game Night in the Woods, I felt a genuine sadness when I finished it, because it felt like I was saying goodbye to real friends. But even games that lack a super deep story are still valuable. Life simulator games like Stardew Valley or Animal Crossing allow a sense of escape, a calming, pocket-sized life to enjoy after the stress of day-to-day responsibilities. Obviously, there are stress-relieving films and music, but there's something engaging and entrancing about the methodical gameplay of these titles. You can spend your time farming, talking to cute neighbors, or decorating your home. As silly as it sounds, sometimes it's nice to just live a simple fictional life where your biggest worry is whether or not you can catch a bug. Some games even balance the worlds of casual and challenging gameplay, like in Atlus's Persona 5, which combines a fantasy role-playing game with a slice-of-life story that lets you live a high schooler's daily activities in Tokyo. I think these kind of games are especially popular during the pandemic, as they offer a pleasant escape. The pandemic also showed us the value of online gaming and the ability to communicate with others through games. Animal Crossing allows players to visit each other's towns and hang out, and in the early months of the pandemic, I spent countless nights playing the games with my friends. My younger sister even had her 8th birthday in the game, since we couldn't have a real party, and she got to spend time with her close ones in the game. Online gaming also allows an arguably more substantial connection between people than social media, because you actually get to do something with your friends. On Twitter, sure, I can talk to people, but in games we can complete missions together, compete against each other, and build things together. This became incredibly valuable last year when we couldn't see anyone in person. It made it so I could actually spend time with my friends. Online gaming has also led to the rise of new ways of interaction, such as mod making, let's plays, this is the making of videos about playing video games, and the largest, esports. Esports, or electronic sports, have become a huge money-making phenomena, with esports athletes making millions of dollars each year. While it may sound silly, gamers who play games professionally spend upwards of 80 hours a week playing games to practice and train for major competitions. Some of the biggest games for esports are League of Legends, Fortnite, CSGO, that's Counter-Strike Global Offensive, StarCraft, and Dota 2, and competitions bring out hundreds of thousands of viewers, both in person and online. Video games often feel like they are not taken as seriously as other mediums in the digital age, but I think as time has progressed, they have grown to be valued as a form of media and art. Video games are one of my favorite things in the world, and I love so much about them, not just the gameplay, but the passion and creativity that goes into making them. I truly believe there's some form of game for everyone, and I hope that if you've never played games, you'll give one a try. Games have proven to be one of the most exciting forms of media in the last decade, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. With fully immersive virtual reality on the horizon, the lines between the digital and real worlds feel closer to blurring than ever before. I'm sure in the future we'll be able to communicate with friends online in ways we've never imagined, and I'm sure the industry of esports and games as a whole are sure to grow. Before this class, I had never really considered the idea of games as interactive media. I just sort of saw them as games. But I view them in a new light now, and I think they hold a special place in humanity's digital history.